Austin is not the only one who's worn Elvis Presley's blue suede shoes. Then who else? Elvis Presley's life has been covered in more than 11 films. Austin Butler, who portrays Elvis Presley in Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, is the latest actor to take on the highs and lows of the king of rock and roll. He is not, however, the first actor to attempt to recreate the melody of the cultural icon from the 1950s. Who else has worn the blue suede shoes that Elvis Presley wore? The film Elvis will be released in 2022 and will tell the story of Elvis Presley's life. Director Baz Luhrmann's latest film, Elvis Presley, The King, is possibly the most in-depth look at Presley's personal life and professional achievements. His Elvis film examines both through the lens of Presley's tumultuous relationship with Colonel Tom Parker, his enigmatic manager, Tom Hanks. Following that, the story dives into the complicated relationship between Presley and Parker, which spans 20 years and includes Presley's meteoric rise to popularity and unprecedented stardom against the backdrop of a changing cultural scene. However, during a Cannes interview panel, Butler expressed his hope that Presley's fans will be able to sense the entertainer's soul in the picture. Butler had unrealistic expectations when it came to capturing Presley accurately on film, according to People magazine. "When I first started, I had these ridiculous ideas that if I worked hard enough, I'd be able to make my face seem exactly like Elvis. And my eyes would be identical to Elvis' eyes, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference," Butler continued. Butler, on the other hand, quickly realized that he needed to adjust his focus. "At some point, it becomes like visiting a wax museum, and what matters is that his soul emerges." Other actors that have played Elvis Presley besides Austin Butler. Elvis Presley was played by Kurt Russell in the 1979 television movie Elvis. Russell was the first actor to portray the entertainer in a biopic, which was eventually made into a feature film in Europe and Australia. The part was played by Jack White of the White Stripes in the 2007 film Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story. In the 2016 film Elvis and Nixon, Michael Shannon portrayed Elvis Presley. This film depicted the notorious meeting between President Richard Nixon and Elvis Presley in December 1970. In Great Balls of Fire, Michael St. Gerard played the King, 1989. Despite the fact that the film did not focus on Presley's life, St. Gerard played the musician in the film, which chronicled the life of Jerry Lee Lewis. In the 1988 film Heartbreak Hotel, David Keith played Elvis Presley. This film, on the other hand, depicted a teen boy's attempt to abduct the king in order to cheer up his sick mother. In the 1989 film Finding Graceland, Harvey Keitel played a hitchhiker who claimed to be Elvis Presley, and Val Kilmer played Presley's ghost in the 1993 film True Romance. Protecting the King, 2007, stars Peter Dobson as one of Elvis Presley's bodyguards. The connection between Presley and his manager Parker, depicted by actor Beau Bridges, was the subject of the first film directed by Rob Youngblood. Elvis and the Colonel: The Untold Story was their 1993 film. Butler gained critical accolades for his portrayal of Elvis Presley. According to People magazine, the actor put his life on hold for 2 years while portraying the king of rock and roll. Butler broke down Presley's life into sections, he explained, in order to bring him to life properly. The actor was able to study how Presley changed as a man over the course of 20 years using this method. I could hear the differences in how his voice and movement altered with time, and I spent 2 years studying, trying to locate his humanity as best I could via that, he explained. Butler received a 12-minute standing ovation at the end of the first showing of Elvis at the Cannes Film Festival in May 2022. On June 24, the film Elvis, starring Austin Butler, Tom Hanks, Helen Thompson, Richard Roxburgh, and Olivia de Jonge, would be released in theaters. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more updates.